2024 was a very competitive season, with 4 teams battling it out for wins and podiums up front. Battles all over the grid were that close, which has made teams realise that they must improve their game for 2025, which makes the current winter development period all the more vital for almost every team on the grid. Teams are making massive overhauls and taking big risks with their 2025 cars, and I'll give you all the information regarding those changes, right from Ferrari and Mercedes down to Haas and Williams, so don't go anywhere. Let's start with Ferrari. With the launch date set to the 19th of February 2025, Project 677 is reportedly taking shape back at Maranello in great pace. For starters, the percentage of change Ferrari are making for 2025 from the SF24 is said to be about 99%. Team principal Frederic Vasseur confirmed this in a recent interview, revealing that Ferrari has planned to make distinct changes to its 2025 machinery. According to Formula Uno, the first important change Ferrari will be making to Project 677 is switching its front suspension from a pushrod to a pull rod configuration. Project 677 returns to this suspension layout as this design improves underbody airflow and allows for a lower center of gravity, which is aimed at improving the car's stability around high-speed corners and improving the tyre warm-up cycle. The new front suspension is also aimed at improving the car's performance in terms of grip management around varying circuit conditions. The next big change Ferrari will be making is to the car's chassis, to accommodate a smaller gearbox design and to have the cockpit positioned further back. This change, according to the report, is aimed at improving the car's weight distribution and is also focused at improving tyre performance. Other reported changes includes top body aerodynamic revisions, changes aimed at improving airflow management. With Lewis Hamilton's arrival to Ferrari, Vasseur's aim for the season is to go one better and win both championships. But how much better is Project 677 going to be though? We will have to wait till the pre-season testing at Bahrain to see that. Next, let's talk about Red Bull. The dominant force of 2023 fell 2 steps behind McLaren and Ferrari in 2024, as the RB20 genuinely struggled to keep up pace with its competition throughout the season. Red Bull, similar to Ferrari, are taking the revolutionary route of development for the RB21 with caution in mind to get back to winning ways in 2025. Red Bull's technical director post-season confirmed that the RB20 had some major issues to be fixed, which they are going to do with the RB21. With the aerodynamics team now being led by former Ferrari man Enrico Balbo, the Milton Keynes team is set to simplify the RB20's aerodynamic concept for the RB21 in terms of internal airflow dynamics. Reportedly, last year's high downforce bodywork is scrapped and major changes will be made to the car's side pods and engine cover design to streamline airflow towards the car's rear wing and diffuser. More changes are set to be made to the car's floor and front wing. Red Bull, according to close sources to the team, won't be pursuing the flexible front wing design similar to McLaren and Mercedes. Instead, the engineers will keep it simple with the wings and focus more on floor geometry to gain performance. Red Bull engineers are also heavily investing on the car's suspension system, as the team is set to continue using the pull rod front and push rod rear configuration for the RB21, but with revised kinematics to improve the car's overall mechanical stability and curb compliance. Next, let's talk about Mercedes. The Silver Arrows went through a rollercoaster run in 2024 as the team tasted both success and failures. The W15 was a far better car than its predecessors, but on average was the 4th fastest car on the circuit and still carried the same deficiencies from its predecessors, the W13 and W14, which is the poor rear end. Coming into 2025 now, the technical department of Mercedes have a big task on their hands, which is to fix the issues of the W15, which according to latest reports, the Brackley-based team are on track to do so. The W16, according to close sources to the team, will be an evolution of the W15 in terms of aerodynamics, but the team is set to make heavy revisions to the car's mechanical platform. Mercedes are set to revise the rear suspension of the car, switching from a push rod to a pull rod configuration, which the team believes will allow the car's mechanical platform to interact much better with the incoming aero, resulting in substantial performance gains. The rear suspension revision is also set to improve tyre degradation and allow a flexible tyre warm-up cycle. The team might be working on other subtle bodywork revisions, but we are unaware of any such changes as the team has been awfully quiet about their 2025 car developments. All we know is that James Allison and his team are cooking something in the Mercedes HQ, and we will get to see what it is at Bahrain during pre-season testing. Now let's focus on McLaren. The MCL38 went through an impressive run of form in 2024, started the campaign as the 4th fastest car, made a huge in-season leap to clinch the Constructors' Championship. This begs the question, What does the Woking-based squad have in store for 2025? Well, McLaren wants to stomp dominance over the rest of the field in 2025, according to team principal Andrea Stella. McLaren for 2025 are taking the risky revolutionary route of development rather than a much safer evolutionary route, according to Stella and the team's own technical director. According to recent reports, McLaren are primarily focusing on the underfloor and diffuser aerodynamics. The Woking team's technical team, according to latest info, are reconfiguring how downforce is generated and distributed among the underfloor and diffuser. The advantages to be gained from the improvements made to the floor and diffuser surrounds around improved high-speed braking without compromising the car's existing low-speed performance. Other changes include top body aerodynamics, with revisions being made to the car's active aerodynamic surfaces as seen fit, to improve load generation and specifically boost aerodynamic efficiency. These changes are substantial and on paper seem very promising for McLaren, but they have to set the benchmark at the Australian opener in 2 months' time if the team hopes to defend the championship this season. Aston Martin are taking on a quiet project for 2025. 2024 was a disaster season for the Silverstone-based team, with the AMR24 not performing to the team's expectations throughout the season. Aston Martin are expected to make a major overhaul with its expected AMR25. The exact details of the project have not surfaced yet, but we believe it will substantially deviate from its 2024 concept. One big change Aston Martin will be housing is the new Mercedes rear suspension and gearbox housing, which should provide the Aston car with substantial improvements around tyre degradation, rear tyres specifically, and also should improve the Aston's rear end stability as well. It's not just the top teams making massive progress in the winter break. The midfield teams are also working hard back at their respective bases. Racing Bulls has been leading that squad in terms of development. Red Bull's sister team for 2025 will share components of the RB20 and some parts of the RB21 as well, according to early reports, and will also take with a Red Bull-esque aerodynamic design, which could easily propel them to the higher midfield team ranks once more. Sauber are also following suit in terms of car development. The 2025 C45 reportedly will move on to a Red Bull McLaren profound aerodynamic design. This decision has been made considering the individual benefits each aerophilosophy provides. Next, coming on to the developments of Haas. Well, Ferrari's progress is Haas's progress for a big part. Any mechanical performance gain Ferrari makes, Haas can make them too, considering the parts they purchase from Ferrari. 2024 was a good year for the American team in terms of car development, so that should provide them with a good basis for 2025. As for Williams and Alpine, those teams' development work on their respective 2025 cars has been close to top secret. But I hope both teams are developing something good back at base, because their competition seems to be working on numerous projects, expecting great returns. So with every team making massive changes for 2025, expecting to take one big step forwards, what are your expectations for each team? Comment down below on what you think might be the grid order. First to 10th constructor at the 2025 Australian Grand Prix. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads to keep yourselves up to date about the 2025 Formula 1 season.